No, it isn't a spare room, it's my bedroom.
I'm gonna take another departure from Urbex videos. Not for a Jeep series, this time for a hiking series. And to be honest, like most of my videos, this series is for my personal consumption to relive adventures I've been not lost on so they don't become lost to me over time. But you're welcome to come along again for the ride. Rule number 1 on any trip. Do you ever notice there's a lot of rule number 1s? Anyways, is to always be prepared to modify your itinerary. The first hike on this adventure wasn't even in our plans. We're still 20 minutes out of the Zion National Park and we could see the dark clouds to our northeast, with a dark wall of rain proceeding from them, right about where we estimated the park to be. Sure enough, we drove into our lodging with the drizzling remnants of the storm hitting our windshield. Checking with the park, they confirmed our suspicions. The Narrows were closed due to the raging, cold, muddy, angry Virgin River. One of the hikes I was looking forward to. Rats. If the Narrows is on your agenda, be prepared for this possibility, especially in the spring or after a rain, in this case, both. So we switched today's hike to tomorrow, and did our backup today, which was the Emerald Pools Loop. This loop is a touch over 2 miles with a meager elevation gain of 570 feet. And while I'd consider it easy to the lower pools and moderate to the top, I still don't suggest doing it in sandals, flip-flops, or Crocs as we saw some doing. As you'll see, without footwear providing adequate traction and support, you could easily twist an ankle, or worse, lose traction, which I'll elaborate on shortly. I've seen broken flip-flops trailside before, and to that point, whenever and wherever you go, please take your garbage out with you. In the off-road community, we call it tread lightly. In the Urbex community, we say take only pictures, leave only footprints. I don't know if this is an official hiker's creed, but I've heard take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time. Truth is, most parks don't even like the idea of you leaving footprints, so stay on the paths. In some areas of the park, there are protected plants directly off the path, and you could be looking at a fine for wandering. And as for killing time, don't do that either. If you're not fully enjoying the beauty of God's creation and the company of your friends and family, then all you're doing is exercising, and you can do that for free at home in the dog park down the street. So back to my safety speech. When talking dangerous hikes, everyone seems to think of Angel's Landing, with its tragic deaths from 1,000-foot falls. But more deaths have occurred in the Emerald Pools area than at Angel's Landing. Indeed, there have been more deaths here than anywhere else in the park, a fact I did not know at the time. People stretching for that little bit extra view or trying to get a selfie with their backs up against the slip edge of the drop-off are a prime culprit. To be fair, it's not just sightseers, but climbers and rappellers as well. Still, to be sure, it can happen to anyone. In 1997, a 12-year-old boy slipped on wet algae and fell 100 feet to his death. A reasonable level of respectful fear will keep you safe in many a scenario. Zion National Park. Arguably one of the most beautiful parks in the U.S. While beauty is subjective, it certainly ranks as one of the most majestic and awe-inspiring parks. So like all the popular trails at Zion, the views here are amazing, and you'll definitely want to go all the way to the top of the upper pool. The trail was very busy the day we went, and while it does thin out the farther up you go, it's still sometimes hard not to be selfish and wish you had it all to yourself without the distraction of others' loud conversations, rambunctious kids, selfie-taking self-proclaimed supermodels. There was even a guy with a boombox on his shoulder. So retro, and so rude. But you have to remember, they're there for the same thing you are, and probably thinking the same thing about you. Well, in my case, not a supermodel, but maybe a grumpy old man. Anyway, you know what I mean. Now for us, the pools themselves are an amazing color of emerald, well, brown from the storm runoff. So yeah. But anyway, there was other stuff going on that still made it a very worthy hiking trip. It may seem tempting to take a dip in the pools, especially in the warmer months, but if you do, you may find yourself getting out of the cooling water of the pool and into some deep, hot doo-doo. Wading is strictly prohibited at emerald pools. When you reach the upper pool, know that it's the result of water seeps coming from the Kayenta sandstone layer. The massive sandstone walls above you turn that runoff into a 360-foot waterfall that flows into the Heaps Canyon. Only taking up about 2 hours, including ample time to gawk, take pictures and videos, I think it's worth eking into your agenda. Enjoy! Hey, what are you doing there, little dude?
I think so.
Great, thanks for the video. Yep, that's exactly what he did. Now he's,
And now he's covering it up.
Oh, he's a very conservative and conscientious little guy.